Greetings. Welcome back to Spectrum of Salome. Hope everyone has been well. Today we're going to be talking about breathing and why breathing is very important and why oxygen and carbon dioxide in balance help us maintain optimal health. So what is breathing? What is breathing? It's very simple because we've been doing it since day one. But breathing is bringing in the oxygen or air, life force energy, Sekem, as we say in Egyptian yoga, and exhaling all the toxins out. So nurturing the body and eliminating toxins. That's what breathing does, and in doing that keeps us alive. So I've titled this video Understanding Your First Food, the breath. When we look at hierarchy, what's really important, we know the breath is the first thing, and then we understand water, and then we understand food. But we have to understand the breath. That's your first food. That's what your cells use to make glucose, to make sugars. That's what your cell uses of the breath. So we have to learn how to use it properly and use it to our advantage. So right, what are the things that contribute to us passing air, oxygen around? We know our lungs. We know that our lungs are the ones that take in the air, exhale the air out, and with the help of the muscle, which is the diaphragm, the primary muscle for breathing. And then we have to think about our heart, right? How does the oxygen circulate through the body? This is why it's very important to do exercise or yoga, because it allows and opens up different channels within the body. So it allows the Sekem to flow through naturally, so beautifully. And then we have to think about our muscles, the ones receiving the oxygen, our cells, the ones receiving this oxygen. How do they receive and how do they give the toxins, and how do they receive the nutrients? Those three things, when you think about it holistically, you have to think about these things holistically when what's happening. So when you're taking a breath in through your nostrils, in through your mouth, and you're only breathing shallow breathing, you are not allowing circulation to oxygen to get to your cells properly. You're not allowing your body to get rid of oxygen properly. So then what does that cause? Imbalancement, causing anxiety, causing disease, causing depression, causing all type of disease, causing all type of pains in our necks, in our shoulders, in our backs, because of the secondary muscles that we use for breathing. But our primary muscle is obviously our diaphragm, and so we need to use our diaphragm and not our chest for breathing. Right, so the benefits of breathing through our nostril is actually what is used for breathing. So this is our tool for breathing. This one, I know a lot of us don't love our nose, but me, I love my nose. It's big, fantastic, beautiful, and it brings in the life force energy for my body to function properly. So our nose filters the air. So our hairs in our nose catches the dust and such, or any pathogens that can get in our bodies. It warms the air up, so it's our body likes to be. So the filters, so the hairs in our nose catch pathogens, and they catch anything that's very harmful that's coming from the external world. And yeah, so the air that comes into our body has to be a specific temperature, around 36-37. I'll round it up to 37, but around that temperature. So your nose actually warms that air up that comes from the external before it goes into your lungs. It's warmed up, and it's the nostrils sterilize. So we have mucus and all that. It cleans all the air out, so your body doesn't have to work hard, your lungs doesn't have to work hard to clean that out, and it humidifies the air as well. So it adds on moisture, which is really good. Now, mouth breathing, the only advantage of mouth breathing that I can really give you is that it gives you more oxygen. However, mouth breathing doesn't clean all the you know, the pathogens from the external when coming internal. It doesn't warm the air up, so your lungs don't like that. Really don't like that. It dries you up, because when you take a deep inhale from your mouth, you feel the dryness, so there's no water there, and it doesn't sterilize the breath that's coming through, so your lungs are getting the pathogens that are outside, or the elements that are outside. So nasal breathing, as you can see, is actually more beneficial, and it's what you want to do it. And I know a lot of us, it's very strange to start nasal breathing, because most of your life you've learned to breathe through your chest, and it's okay, you can learn how to breathe through your diaphragm yet again, because when you were a child, that's how you were breathing, so you can always go back to perfection. And it will take you a couple of times if you're a person who's only been breathing through your chest, so it would take you a while. And please don't give me the excuses of my nose is stuffy and all this and all that. Look, even on a rainy day, my nose is the one I use for breathing, because that's what it's for. And the more you start to breathe from your nose, you will start to see getting stuffy nose, snoring, headaches, anxiety, all these things. High blood pressure go down, because you're eliminating the toxins out of your body properly, but your mouth doesn't allow that to really happen, and also can be potentially very dangerous, allowing pathogens to come within the body. So yeah, so I'm going to talk about the importance of carbon dioxide, because a lot of us don't respect carbon dioxide. We think it's like the worst thing ever, but carbon dioxide is important, just like everything in this world. We understand that duality exists, so you do need your oxygen, but you do need your carbon dioxide. And I don't want to go too much into the science of it. I was just about to go into the science of it, but I'll leave that alone. But basically, carbon dioxide helps you maintain the pH in the body. We have a specific pH in our blood, and with the carbon dioxide, it maintains that. When you have too much alkaline in your blood, which is breathing a lot, or people hyperventilate. I had to ask my friend how to say that word, but hyperventilate, when you're taking in a lot of air through your mouth. What happens is you'll find someone say, hey, you need to breathe through this, give them a bag or something to breathe through. So what they're actually doing is, there's no oxygen really happening there. What they're breathing in and out is back their carbon dioxide. And when they have the carbon dioxide come back into their body, they stop panicking, they stop feeling anxiety. Worst come to worst, the person will faint. When you hyperventilate, you faint, but that's good, because it stops you from having too much oxygen. It stops you from ventilating, so it allows the body to produce its own natural carbon dioxide in the body to bring balance back. So understanding that. So yeah, maintaining the pH of the body, it's not having enough carbon dioxide can cause panic attacks. Like I said, it can cause you to be spaced out, insomnia, anxiety, dizziness, fatigue. As you guys know, I love my notes, so I'm going through my notes. You know, and lack of oxygen can mean you're reducing the blood flow to your muscles and to your organs, and that's gonna definitely destroy your proper function. So we want to understand where these two play a role and how to balance them. And at the end of this video, I'll give you great tips on how to balance both. Now, when you're breathing, just like anything, you know, like when it's a hot day out there and you walk to the store, that's 5 minutes, compared to when it's winter and it's a cold day and walk to the store 5 minutes. There's going to be a difference to let's say you walk into the store and it's really extremely hot. You're probably going to buy water at the store, right? So you understand your supply and demand that's outside. You understand your environment that's outside. Same thing with breathing. If you're running or if you're sitting down, there's a different type of amount of breath that you're going to be taking in, and you have to be aware of that. So when you are in a stressful situation, that's still something, because that's how your body reacts to that is how you've conditioned it. So it's all about your conditioning. The stressful situation arise, naturally your body goes into flight or fight mode. Now fight and flight mode causes you to shallow breathe, and when you're shallow breathing, again, like I said in the beginning, you won't have the optimal functioning. So what you need to proper breathe to have the optimal functioning. So in a difficult situation or challenging situation, understand that where you are. So the first thing to do is to tell your brain, okay, I understand and I know what to do right now. You just need to breathe properly. You just need to breathe properly. If whatever you're doing is making you're lifting or you're dropping or whatever, stop what you're doing, stand still and take your deep breath. Like, you have to understand, you have to love yourself that much, yeah, that when you're short of breath, or you're like, oh my, I need to breathe because I'm not breathing properly, or you realize that you've been breathing too much from your mouth, stop what you're doing, fam, and take some deep breaths. 3 good deep breaths, that's it. It's really, really, really amazing. So understanding your supply and demand, understanding the activity externally and the kind of energy that you need to do something will also mean that you need to breathe differently. So breathe more, breathe less. And so yeah, understanding that, and deep breathing promotes slows your heart rate down. It, like I said, eases anxiety and ensures the proper circulation for the optimal amount of nutrients that goes around the body. And like I said, the oxygen, the cells use it to burn food, which in turn creates the energy, and that gives us carbon dioxide. Now, you know what carbon dioxide is. Carbon dioxide maintains the pH of the body, and in turn gives you a proper optimal feeling. One thing I do want to talk about, so you guys can understand this better, when we're going through, when the cells have taken the oxygen and they've turned it into rare, yeah, the byproduct of that is 3 things. Heat. Now the heat comes out your body through sweat, or it stays in your body to maintain proper body temperature function. You have sweat, right? So water or toxins, so that comes out through as urine, or comes out through as sweat. And then you have carbon dioxide, which I've been talking about. So that comes out through your breathing, you exhale. Now I'm using my mouth right now because I have to talk, so this is another way that you release toxins out of your body through the mouth. But for me, 80% of the time I'm breathing through my nose and out through my nose. 80% of the time, because that's what it's for, and I'm gonna make sure I know the knowledge, I'm gonna apply it, of course. So yeah, I think I know I've covered everything that I wanted to cover with you guys today, and now I'm going to show you how to deep breathe. So whether you're standing or you're sitting, whether you're in the office, whether you're in the gym, I don't care where you are, yeah, learn how to belly breathe. And belly breathing is as you inhale, bringing the air in through your nostrils, you're expanding your diaphragm expands, filling your whole entire body. Like I said, remember, filling your whole entire body with that oxygen, that life force energy that's going to nurture your being. Hold it for 1 count, and then slowly exhale, controlling the breath out, compressing the diaphragm all the way in. So inhale, hold for 1 count, exhale. And that's literally what your diaphragm does. It's like a little thing here, yeah. As you inhale, it pushes all that. So releasing on your chest, right? You have at the top here, you have chemicals that are for adrenaline, which produce adrenaline as such. And then down here you have the chemicals that calm you down. So when you inhale, taking a deep breath in, it pushes and activates those diaphragms here. But when you deep breathe, you're pushing, activating those diaphragms. So constantly being in a state of stress, we don't want adrenaline in our body 24/7. We know it's not good for us, but so we want to produce the chemicals here that calm us down even in chaotic situations. So inhale, it expands, hold it for 1 count, and then exhale. Now that's called rhythmic breathing. It's slow, it's smooth, and it slows your heart rate down. You're not taking too much oxygen, you're not exhaling too much oxygen, you're not exhaling the carbon dioxide too quickly, because a lot of people go this is not a proper, you're not allowing the carbon dioxide to do what it needs to do in the body. You're releasing it too quickly. It has a time. So everything, If you find yourself that the activity you're doing doesn't match your breath, slow your fucking activity down. Sorry to swear, but slow it down. Slow yourself down. Like, you are important. It's you that's making that thing function. Without you functioning, there's no activity happening, right? So slow it down. So if you're walking up a hill or you're doing this and you need to, your breath, your nasal breath is not matching, you got to slow down how you're walking so it matches with your breathing. You know what I mean? So I know you guys really truly understand this. And the metaphysical and the spiritual level of breathing properly, you are allowing energy to flow your chakras. You're allowing life force Sekem to empower those areas, to hit every chakra point. You're allowing, you know, that flow of life to come in and out of you, you know, allowing that exchange is so beautiful. Allowing life force energy to come in and excel in all that doesn't serve you. Allowing life force energy to come in and excel in all that doesn't serve you. That is beautiful. That is nature. That's natural. So we want to be doing that properly, and that's going to bring you clarity in every situation. I bet you, as soon as you start to learn how to breathe properly again, because you were doing it when you were a child, you will have clarity in every situation. You will be peaceful in every situation. You won't even, like, a situation will happen and you'll be like, okay, I can deal with this. Yeah, oh, okay. You know, you will attain the blessing and the lesson of why you're in that situation. This is all just breathing, you know, the simplest thing, just breathing. And us more than ever, we got to learn how to breathe properly, especially in this society, so we can have more clarity. Remember the breath. What is air? Air is intelligence. Air is intelligence. So when you breathe properly, you're inviting intelligence all throughout your being. You know, you're inviting more intuition, you're inviting more wisdom into your life. So I encourage all of you guys to breathe properly, and we're going to do some 3 deep breaths right now, and after that we're going to conclude this video. And I'm so excited, and I'm very glad that you guys are able to share and love this with share the love with every single person that you're going to see tomorrow, that you're going to see in the next hour, so they can you can inspire them so they can breathe properly. So whatever issues they're going through in their body, physically, spiritually and mentally, can all be balanced with the intelligence of the breath. So when you are ready to breathe properly, you want to make sure your spine is erect or straight and your shoulders are at ease. Just for the time, just, you know, just breathe as you're breathing, just relaxing, getting familiar with your environment. You close your eyes. I love closing my eyes. So getting familiar with your environment and feeling yourself, you know, just getting comfortable, you know, getting ready to now get into the deep breathing. So you're going to inhale through your nostrils, holding the breath for 1 count, then exhale out through your nostrils. Inhale, exhale. If you guys need a bit more, like if your nose is stuffy a little bit more, you can do this. So inhale, bringing your head back. Exhale, bringing your head forward. That's a very good way. Also includes the neck, so you're also helping the breath that's going through the trachea, and also your secondary muscles that help you breathe. I feel so calm, I feel high, like I love the breath because it just does this to you, man. Oh, it's life. And the third one that I would like to share with you guys is nasal breathing, and this is very, very good for waking you up in the morning if you're a person who has overslept or a person who can't sleep. Closing off one of your nostrils. You're going to take an inhale through the other nostril that's open. As I'm doing that, my diaphragm is inhale expanding. Now notice that anything that goes through your nose goes straight to your brain, so you're bringing intelligence to your brain. Great way to wake you up. Once you've done 3 times in one nostril, do 3 times in the other nostril. That clears stuffy nose, clears anxiety, like literally calms you down like that, so you can deal with the situation at the time that you need to. So just to go over them, so the first one, just, you know, spine erect, shoulders ease, you know, no matter where you are, you can always practice proper breathing. And this is what yoga is, you know, that a lot of people think yoga is just the postures. Yoga is actually first your breath. This is why I love, you know, Egyptian yoga, moving meditation. It really, every posture, every movement is a breath, you know. You know, any way through, you know, we it's a moving meditation, and I give thanks for that, because it's literally changed my life. It's literally changed my life. So yeah, breathing no matter where you are, just, you know, getting relaxed, being relaxed, and inviting the intelligence in. You know, you moving your head, your neck around. So inhale, coming up, exhale, coming forward. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking down. You can add affirmations with it. Inhale, bringing in love and clarity. Exhale, what doesn't serve you anymore. And then obviously the third one was breathing through your nostrils, closing off each one. That's what I wanted to share with you, beautiful divine people who now are gonna remember how to breathe properly. You know, if you guys are forgetting, those who have kids, look at your babies, you just see them breathing through their diaphragm like everybody should, because, you know, they are perfect teachers. And yeah, so peace, love, manifestation, and proper breathing. Let's just do one inhale and then release an om through our mouth, just because we're divine and beautiful like that. Inhale. Oh, beautiful. Hot tap. Mwah.